From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
I don't give a crap how you are.
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No, I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. We were having a conversation about something totally else with a caller named Alicia. And as so often happens on this program, I launched into a riff about something that I think is a whole other topic. Now, all you working girls out there, all you career women out there, I want you to listen to this telephone conversation and see if you relate to this. Highly successful females tend to hook up with a certain kind of guy because they're too busy to have a real relationship.
Yeah.
And so you end up settling for less than the best.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, what quality of guy is going to wait around until you're done working overtime or till you get back from a business trip?
Yeah. The guy without a job.
The guy with nothing better to do. The kind of guy who's in the jury pool. The kind of guy who waits in line to buy tickets to a concert because he's got all day free.
Totally.
That's the kind of guys you get. The kind of people who said O.J. Simpson is not guilty. That's the kind of people that are left for you.
So true.
I always say about relationships with women, if when I get home, the lights are out, the house is dark, I don't need you. I can do that alone.
True.
So the result is, who do you have? The pathetic slob who has nothing better to do than keep leaving you messages on your voicemail.
Oh, my God.
While you're in a meeting. Because he's got nothing to do with his time.
So true.
They smoke weed because they don't have to drive their cars anywhere or do anything. They booze it up, right?
You know him, yeah.
I know them all because, you know what? I've been with your kind. And I know what kind of guys you generally get.
It's true. So what's the solution then? Go for the other hot, successful chicks? I mean, really?
Well, that might be one way to go, and many of you do, by the way, I might add. But, you know what, really, the real truth is that you, as long as you insist on being a highly successful chick, you are consigned to a lifetime of booty calls.
Oh, I know.
And meeting guys while you're on the road doing business trips and stuff. And then, calling them after you leave town and that kind of thing. That's what you're consigned to do.
It's totally true.
You know the type I'm talking about because that's you, okay? And then you can't figure out why you can't have a relationship. And the reality
what
is...
am I doing wrong? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reality is, in the process of being successful, you are not available. You see, what men want, and the reason a man will take you to dinner, is he's paying for your availability and exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason you pay for everything is because no man gets you exclusively, and you are not available enough.
Totally. I feel like when you say that, I feel like, yeah, that is what I'm paying for when I pay for dinner.
That's right. That is exactly what you're trying to get. And, of course, you get exclusivity because you get guys who have nothing better to do with their time.
It's so true.
And so, of course, we're going to be with one loser after another. Because every man I know, every man of means, every man who's successful, wants a woman who will be there when I ring the doorbell.
Yeah.
I don't want to ring the doorbell and then leave you a note. I don't want to be leaving messages on your voicemail.
But then if
I don't want to talk to your secretary asking me, what is this in reference to?
But then if I'm the girl answering the door, then I'm a gold digger, though.
Yeah, but that's why you have to find a middle ground somewhere. The chicks who work, who have the most success in life, are the ones who have a balance between work and home.
Yeah.
You know, they work 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. They come home after a normal day's work. They actually do their own housework and some cooking around the house. They are available on the weekend to go away for the weekend or to do things at night.
Uh-huh.
Those are the women who have a good balance in life. They have good relationships and a good career. But the chicks who are super motivated and super successful, they're all a bunch of Oprah Winfreys, always out with Stedman, never wearing a wedding dress.
I'm not Oprah.
Yeah, but maybe you're better looking than Oprah. But you know what I'm talking about, the whole Oprah and Stedman thing. Will she ever marry Stedman? She's 50 now.
No.
And right, because you know what? If Stedman works as hard as he does and makes as much money as he does, when he gets home, he wants to say, honey, I'm home, and you're there in a negligee.
Yeah, right.
You are not leaving me messages on the answering machine telling me to go to the store and pick something up.
So true.
The guy who will go to the store and pick something up is a loser who has nothing better to do with his time. I'm imagining Oprah Winfrey opening the door in a negligee. Yikes. Now, I said all of this off the top of my head. I really wasn't planning on making a topic out of that. It just all sort of came out. But I'm wondering, especially for you women out there who are working hard on careers and you can't figure out why you don't have a decent boyfriend or why you don't have a decent relationship, I'm wondering if any of this rings true for you. I wonder if you think I'm being unfair. I'd really like to know.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You amuse me.
Well, thank you so much. I love when you're condescending like that. It turns me on.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Let's go. The Tom Leykis Show on 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Carrie. Hello.
Hi, Tom. I just wanted to let you know that I finally get it. I understand now.
Do you really?
That makes sense.
Tell me why.
I don't know how many pot-smoking boyfriends I've gone through. I just had to call in and let you know you are so right all of the time.
Lots of women get very angry at me for saying these things, you know.
Well, you know, you just speak the truth, so...
I know lots of women in that position. They've got careers. They can't figure out why they don't have the right boyfriend. That's why.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it now. And actually, I have to go because I have a meeting coming up, which is so ironic. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a call and say I listened to you on my way home and on my way to meetings. So you're right on there, Tom. I'm going to have to work on it.
Last question, Carrie. Will you change anything about your life as a result of realizing this?
You know, I'm going to have to think about that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it or not.
Or maybe you just realize you're going to spend the rest of your life with booty calls and so-called boyfriends who live in other cities.
That's right.
Because you go and have a business meeting in Chicago and you meet him for dinner and you bang him at your hotel room and then he can't leave Chicago and you can't leave Seattle and it's perfect. The two of you can't commit to anything because you're stuck where you are. And maybe somehow it's more comfortable that way.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think about it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You gave me something to think about.
Well, good, Gary.
Well, can you blow me up?
Of course I can. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Debbie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Debbie.
The topic of this conversation really drives me crazy.
Why?
I was single for 12 years, and I could never understand why men couldn't respect the fact that I had this career and I was busy. I could never understand why they were always falling for, little dolly babies.
Mm-hmm.
Little honey bunnies. And, I have to confess, I finally did meet a man, and he was my lover for 3 or 4 years, and that worked for me, and I just completely quit dating altogether.
Mm-hmm.
I did get married, by the way, 3 or 4 years ago,
right.
But I do want to say, the reason I have a little bit of a problem with this is because you guys always talk about, Leykis 101 talks about not spending too much money on women and not wanting a woman who wants you for your money. But for a woman not to want you for your money, she has to work, and she has to make as much money as she can.
Well, there's an in-between, you see. There's an in-between between a woman who works 9 to 5, gets in the car at 5 at quitting time, and is home by 6, and has dinner on the table by 7, and Oprah Winfrey, who has to call Stedman at 11 and tell him she's going to be taping till 1 a.m., and maybe he should put something in the microwave for himself.
Uh-huh. Well,
there's a big difference there. There's a big gulf you have to bridge.
But, it takes a while to really understand what the difference is.
Well, that's why I'm trying to explain it to you here.
I do get it, but I will say this. I had a job change in October, and I used to be a traveling sales lady and gone all the time, and now I'm home every night by about 5:30, and it's a totally different life.
Right, but you're happily married now, aren't you?
Oh, I'm extremely happily married.
Well, do you see the difference then?
Yes.
Well, you see, it took you until you were 37 years old.
No, I'm 48 now, so it took me until I was
45 years old?
Pretty much.
45. So you spent your whole life, you couldn't figure it out. That's why I'm doing this show this evening.
But, Tom, I was single. I was trying to make a lot of money. I was trying to get ahead financially. Right. And I just never could understand why I couldn't get more dates. So I guess
But did what I say ring true for you?
Yes.
And you hate it?
Yes, and you know what? I have a 27-year-old daughter that's a paramedic, and I'm going to have a conversation with her because she's made her career right now and not really dating at all.
Right, and then believe me, she'll turn 30 in 3 years, and suddenly be tick, 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 tick. My biological time clock is ticking.
Right. So this is a really great conversation. I'm glad you're having it.
Well, again, women have to remember that when a man takes you on a date, he's paying for easy availability and exclusivity. No man wants to meet you when you get out of work at 11 o'clock at night.
You know what, Tom? When I used to date, I always went Dutch.
Of course you did. Of course you did. But how many men would be willing to pay? And the kind of men who would, did you respect them? No, because you didn't get married till you were 45.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you're true. This has given me some food for thought. But, hey, thanks for the topic. It's very different, and I enjoy hearing it.
I appreciate your call, Debbie. And listen to the women now calling in who are like, the light bulb is appearing over their heads. They're starting to figure something out that maybe they were not able to figure out over the years. And I'm telling you this story, and I'm replaying that part of the phone call here because there are so many women trying to get ahead in their careers who can't figure out why they don't have a boyfriend or why they keep dating losers or they keep saying that there's no good men out there. Oh, there are good men out there. Good men date women who are there when we get home. Got it? 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Stephanie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Is that a question or a statement?
It is a statement. Hi, I'm wondering exactly what your point is.
I thought my point was made clear.
I heard you said men want availability and they want exclusivity.
Dear, the word is exclusivity.
Exclusivity.
Yes.
Okay.
You might try a dictionary.
All right. And you said chicks who go to work and then they come home and basically have another life. That's a good balance in life? That's your
If they work like normal hours and come home normal time, and they are there with their husbands or boyfriends when they get home, they have more successful relationships.
Okay. So are you trying to say like that applies to women or to men also, right?
No, it really doesn't because let's face it, men pay for the bulk of the stuff. The men who are home when you get home, they're the ones sitting home smoking pot while you're paying their rent.
So what about the people who don't even want a boyfriend? What's a balanced life for them?
Well, they don't want a boyfriend, then that's perfect for them. Great. I'm not talking about women who don't want a boyfriend. I'm talking about the kind of women like you see on Sex and the City and that you read about in magazines who are complaining that there are no good men, that they can't find a man who can be supportive of them, that what they really need is like the male equivalent of a housewife, a man who will be there for them. Well, there are no men like that.
Yeah. So your point on this whole show basically has to do with men and women. It's not really about life. You know
It was really clear. I think I spelled it all out And the person of average intelligence who tunes in would understand what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm actually, this is the first time I've heard your show. I've never actually listened to a talk show, and I was just...
all right, let me make this really clear. There are women who are working very, very hard at careers. They want to be successful attorneys, successful doctors, successful accountants.
Yeah.
And then they also want a man.
Yeah.
A good man. But no man is going to sit home and wait for you to come home. No man that you would respect, no man you would think is a good man or a good catch would sit home waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you.
All right.
Now, are you a career girl or are you an aspiring housewife? What are you?
I am want to do everything. It's not really a career. I don't want to see, I just want to do everything. I'm going to only live in this world once. I want to do as much as I can.
No,
whatever.
but let's limit it to career and relationships. All right, we'll talk about those things. What do you want in your life?
Right now, I don't want a relationship. Just
well, that's good. You're 19. You should.
Yeah, it's the beginning of my life.
Right.
But,
I'm talking about long term.
If I wanted a relationship, it would have to be something where I met a person who has the same, desire, who's motivated in life and just wants to, do everything, and it's like a friend, to someone, like a companion. Dear,
I'm limiting it to what do you want to do for a living?
I'm not exactly sure what I want to do for a living.
Dear, you're 19.
Right now,
are you in college?
Yes,
What do you study?
I'm in the Army Reserve too. I just got back.
All right, so you definitely have no motivation or direction of any kind.
No, I do, but I'm.
What is it?
To do everything.
No, dear, that means nothing.
Yes, it does, because
that means you have no focus at all.
No. It means I have a lot of focus.
Really? What are you focused on specifically?
Right now, I'm focused on trying to figure out what this talk show is about.
No, dear, I'm talking about in your life.
I am focused on doing everything.
No, you can't do everything.
Okay, right now.
You cannot do everything.
I know, but hold on a second.
Are you going to perform brain surgery? You're going to be a dentist. You're going to be a parachute jumper and a bungee jumper.
No. Hold on.
You're going to be a topless dancer. I mean, no, you cannot do everything. It's a ridiculous answer.
It is not a ridiculous
Yes, it is.
No.
Because you're not going to do everything. Nobody does everything.
Okay, yes, I understand that. But I mean, as much as
Can you pee standing up? You will not do everything.
Of course, I know that. But I'm not saying it like...
You just said you're going to do everything. You're not going to do everything.
When I say I want to do everything, I'm saying I want to do everything that I possibly can. And that is possible to do everything.
What do you plan to do for a living?
What I plan to do for a living is everything.
No, you can't, dear, you don't do everything.
I know, but you start out doing something. So right now...
So in other words, nothing. You have no focus at all.
No, I do, right?
What is the focus of your career?
My focus is, okay, I just got back from the Army, from basic training in December. I just got back. I went to school for that. Now I'm in the Army Reserves. I go to drill one weekend a month.
What are you focused on? Fighting in Iraq? What are you focused on?
Hold on, I'll tell you. I have a job. I go to work. I go to school. And the Army pays me $500 a month just for going to school. So right now I'm focused on learning.
Well, learning what?
Learning how to basically live in this world.
What is your major, dear?
Huh?
What is your major?
Why do I need a major?
What? So you don't have a major?
Not yet.
You don't have a career plan? You don't have a focus? And you don't have much of a brain, I must tell you. I'm sorry to say.
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. We played back kind of an impromptu riff I did on the air where I talked about the reasons I feel that career-motivated women can't find the right guy. Linda, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. You are so patient. That caller was driving me nuts.
I know, and it was a short drive up the block and around the corner.
Oh, boy, she hasn't got a clue, but she is only 19.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that it's realistic to expect to have a career and to have a family and to have a man at home. I just think it's too much. I don't think you can do it all at once.
People try, and that's why we've got so much divorce. They say they can do it, but then they don't.
Yeah. I mean, I tried, and I was not able to do it. I got lucky. I found the man first, and he and I had our careers together, and we put off having kids for about 10 years. But when we had kids, I cut way back at work and stayed home. And I don't think it would have worked any other way.
Yeah, well, I think you're right, and a lot of women are going to waste a lot of time hitting their head against the wall to find out what I just told them. I could have saved them years of heartbreak.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it isn't practical. You can't do it all. It's not fair to the kids.
All the magazines that say you can, they're lying. They should be sued. There should be a class action lawsuit.
Well, I don't think it's realistic, and I think that it's doing a disservice to young women now to have them expect that of themselves.
Linda, good point. Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Elizabeth on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How are you?
Do you care?
Yes, I do.
I'm doing great.
Especially today, because I've been listening for you for the past 3 years. I've been married 4.5 years, and I gotta admit, there's a lot of things that you have brought up that have actually helped me through my marriage. And one of them has been staying in shape for my husband and for myself, but mostly for him. The other thing is I do work, but I only work until 4 o'clock. And then after that, you know what, I get home, I make dinner for my husband. He has a much stressful job than I do. But guess what? He's happy, and I'm happy. And it works for the two of us.
Well, I hope all the aspiring Oprahs and all the aspiring Sandra Day O'Connors out there realize what you just said, because it's true.
It is so true. And you know what? My husband makes 3 times what I make. So why wouldn't I do that for him? I don't want him coming home and having a frozen dinner. And I hear that I work so many times. A lot of times the women there, they kind of make fun of me. They think, how can you get home after working all day and still make dinner? I just tell my husband, just get something from the freezer. But no, that's not the way. In first place, that's not the way I was raised. In second place, it makes him happy. And like I said, I've been married 4.5 years, and they've been like the happiest years of my life.
Sounds good to me.
So like I said, there's a lot of times when I listen to you, and there's some things that really upset me, but I completely agree with you 100%. There has to be a middle ground on this. Absolutely. And especially for women, if you think about it, there's so many women working now, and they leave their children at home with somebody else. I mean, that is not right at all. Because if right now my husband, he's such a hardworking person, and he's going to be the man of the house, or he's going to be the one who's going to be providing for the family. Why would I, go out and work longer hours and look towards a career if I want to have children? And that's I love my husband, and I want to have children. I want to have a family.
Well, you make some very good points. I appreciate it. Jessica on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, how are you doing?
Great.
I just want to say that I completely disagree with everything you have to say.
Why?
Because I am a hardworking mother of one, 5-month-old, and I'm 21, and I have a fiance that's 28. I've been with him for 4 years. And
Why do you have a baby?
We have a baby because I have a baby.
Why? You're not married.
I wanted a baby.
Well, why can't you wait till you're married?
Because I don't really want to get married.
You don't want to get married?
No, I don't.
Why not?
I'm just not ready for that.
Well, if you're not ready for it, why are you ready to have a baby?
Because marriage is a whole different thing than
No, it's really not. I have still another story in front of me, and these keep coming across my desk all the time, about children and what they want in a family. And here, I'm looking at it right now.
Why is it so important to be married? That's my question.
All right, let me read to you. Research, I'm reading to you now. This comes from Yahoo Today. Research clearly demonstrates that family structure matters for children. And the family structure that helps the most is a family headed by 2 biological parents in a low-conflict marriage. children in single-parent families, children born to unmarried mothers, and children in step families or cohabiting relationships face higher risks of poor outcomes. There is value for children in promoting strong, stable marriages between biological parents. Okay. Now, this is scientific research, darling, and I know you're too young to pick up a newspaper or read any of this.
Oh, you know what?
But do you really give a rat's ass about your kid? Because the research says that is what is best for a child. But you don't care. You only care about yourself. You don't give a rat's ass about that kid.
I do care about
No,
myself.
you don't.
That's why the father and I are still together.
No, it says here you need to be married. And by the way...
I need to be married.
Yes, you do. And you know what? You could wait until you know if that relationship is going to be a long-term or permanent relationship before you have a baby. There is no rush.
Exactly. There's no rush, so why is there...
No, there's no rush to have a baby, is what I'm saying.
No rush to get married either.
Well, then, that's my point, dear. At 21, you shouldn't be doing any of this stuff. You should be waiting.
Okay, well, I have a career. I have a child.
What is your career at 21 with a baby? What exactly do you do? What is your career? You what?
I work at the police department.
Doing what?
I'm a community service officer.
What does that mean?
That means I take police reports.
You take them.
I file complaints of vehicle burglary, stolen cars, any kind of stolen identity theft, anything of that issue, I take care of. So yes.
No, you don't take care of it. All you do is you take reports from people who give reports. You don't actually investigate anything or solve any crimes. You have nothing to do with that. All
right, but it's all documentation. I take care of the documentation.
Your college degree is from which university?
I don't have a college
I'm hardly surprised. And no doubt your boyfriend probably has a really good job, and that's why...
No, he doesn't.
Why not?
He doesn't. He's not working at all.
I'm shocked.
He quit his job so that way he can go back to school.
Well, isn't that... And what is he studying?
He's studying his GED.
He's studying for his GED at 28.
That's right.
That's great. You must be really proud.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm calling.
He's finally studying for his high school diploma at 28.
That's why I'm calling.
You two are a couple of Albert Einsteins. I'll tell you what.
You're telling me that a girl has to be available. Well, I was so available that I picked up a loser anyway, so what's your point?
Well, but dear, you're a loser.
No, I'm not a loser.
You're a complete loser.
No, I'm not.
Of course you are.
Okay, is that why I have a highly paying job that I'm...
How much... Wait, I want to hear how you define highly paying. How much does it pay?
I'm not making into the 100,000.
How much is it?
I'm making enough.
Dear, you're anonymous. You're also working for a public service agency. Your salary is a matter of public records. Just tell us how much it is. I'm
not going to tell you.
Oh, you don't want to tell me because you know damn well I'm going to embarrass the crap out of you on the air when you tell me.
It's not the fact that you're going to embarrass me. I just don't think it's anybody else.
You're all right. You're anonymous here.
Okay,
now, you know damn well I can find out what your salary is in 5 minutes.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, which police department do you work for?
I'm not going to tell you that either.
Oh, why not, dear?
Because...
Aren't you proud?
Yes, I'm proud.
Oh, yeah, I can tell how proud you are. No college degree. Do you have a high school diploma?
Yes, I do.
Oh, very nice. Now your husband's going to try to catch up to you at 28.
Well, I'm working on a college degree myself, okay?
Really? And what are you studying there?
I'm currently studying forensics at Valley College.
Really? Valley College, is that a community college?
Yes, it is.
I'm shocked. That's great. So you're in the 13th grade. Huh?
You have to start somewhere, Tom.
Well, there, why'd you wait till 21 to go to college?
Because I moved out here from Virginia.
Because you were busy getting knocked up and trying to figure out how to pay the rent. Yeah,
I wasn't. I didn't get pregnant until I was 20, all right?
That's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, take me out Kobe style. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. Yeah, it beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
David Flynn is...
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Kathy on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hi, God, this is so exciting.
Oh, listen to you.
Okay, since I called up to complain about bimbos, I won't sound like a bimbo, so I won't go, oh my God, I'm so excited. But, gosh, don't give the bimbos so much time on the air. You're just like, no wonder everybody...
Oh, they're all proving my point for me.
I know. Now, that last lady...
Kathy, we're losing you. I hate to say, but we are. Guyana, you're on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
How are you?
Ray.
Well, I just wanted to, usually all this stuff that you talk about I totally agree with, but in this case I don't agree with you because I am a working mother and I do send my kid to daycare, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it does. I'll read this again. Research clearly demonstrates that family structure matters for children. And the family structure that helps the most is a family headed by two biological parents in a low-conflict marriage. It's all here.
But that's just paper.
No, dear, this is scientific research. It is not just paper.
You don't have any kids to...
I don't have to have any kids. This research was done by people who know what they're doing. They know more than I do, and probably more than you do. You are in denial.
Everybody... Okay, first of all, yeah, you say that, okay, I'm too young to have a baby, too young to be married, or whatever.
And you got pregnant before you were married, I might note here.
Yes, so?
Yeah, well, again, immature, bad planning.
I totally agree with the other girl that called you because it doesn't matter if you're married before.
Yes, it does. Research clearly demonstrates that family structure matters for children. The family structure that helps the most is a family headed by two biological parents in a low-conflict marriage.
Yes, I keep reading the same over and over.
Dear, it's still just as true as the first time I read it. You don't want to hear the truth.
Tom.
You don't want to hear the truth.
A girl gets married to a guy, a girl changes everything. So basically, the whole thing of you telling these women to be married to their baby's dad or whatever,
right.
to a guy before they have a
right.
baby.
That is what is best for the child. But you don't care about the child. You only care about you.
Why do you say that?
Because.
How can you prove that?
I can prove it because you did what is not in the best interest of the child. I just read to you what's in the best interest of the child. You don't want to hear it.
How do you know? How did you...
You didn't bother to worry about what was in the best interest of the child. You wanted to serve yourself, and that's what you did.
How do people know what's right for the child when...
How about you read once in a while, like I just did?
But have you experienced it, Tom?
Dear, I don't have to experience it. I don't have to experience killing someone to know murder is wrong. I don't have to experience everything in order to understand why it's good or bad. I have never been hit by a bus, but I have a pretty good idea that it would be bad for me.
So you're saying that if a person decides to keep a baby, to have a baby, and I admit I don't make that much money.
Of course you don't.
But I want to make sure that my child is somewhat, that I would be able to take care of.
Why didn't you make sure you didn't get pregnant?
I wanted to have the baby.
Yeah, well, guess what? You can't afford to have a baby. You just admitted it.
What?
You just admitted you can't afford to have a baby.
No, I didn't say I can't.
How much do you make, dear? How much?
I make $38 a year.
$38 to support how many people?
One. My husband works too.
Who supports the baby?
Both of us support the baby.
Right, so you're supporting 1.5 people on $38,000 a year.
He works too.
Yeah, how much does he make?
He makes $45 a year.
Mm-hmm. And?
And?
What is your point?
My point is, it all depends on how you want to live. So
No, but you all depends how you want to live, but it has nothing to do with how your baby might want to live. Vicky, what did you want to say to Guiana here?
I want to say that this girl is so far off the mark, it's ridiculous, Tom. I don't normally agree with you, but on this you are so right on the mark. I've done both. I made the mistake of being a single parent with not a great income and a baby at home, and now I'm married with two biological parents and children in the house, and both parents have great jobs, and I was able to stay home when they were little and help them get them raised until they got into school. And this girl has no clue what she's talking about.
Whatever.
Of course you don't have an idea.
She has no clue. She sounds like she's about a 19-year-old girl with no education.
People aren't as lucky or as wealthy as
don't you want to give your baby the best thing you can give your baby?
No, she wants to have all she cares about is herself.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
You're so rageful.
I have never heard this word, by the way, rageful. But, all right, I'll assume your IQ is in the triple digits for the sake of argument.
You've never spoken to a psychotherapist.
You're a psychotherapist, or are you just a psycho?
The Tom Leykis Show.
Send us an email. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. You got that, Tom? At blowmeuptom.com. Or if you've got comments about our show, you can call us here at the comment line. Area code 310-842-9592. That's area code 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.